Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, your number one place where you learn about personal finance and career. So my name is Bukky and I'm happy you're here. Thank you if you've been a subscriber. Thank you for always coming back. Thank you for always checking out my new videos. And if this is your first time, don't go away after this video. I promise you there's so many things you could learn on my channel. And before you go, also don't forget to like my video, subscribe, click on the notification button, and if you have questions regarding career and personal finance, don't hesitate to drop them in my comments. I'll be more than happy to share my knowledge with you. Today I'll be talking about a topic that many people have come across in their journey into financial freedom, and that's the question of, do I pay off a debt or do I invest? All right, so why is this a dilemma? This comes as a dilemma most times when people have access to some cash. Maybe, for example, you're a 9-to-5 person and you get some kind of bonus from work, or somebody gifts you some money and you just have this extra cash and you don't want to just spend it on things that doesn't really make sense, so you want to make use of it. And that's why you would have this question, if you have to pay up a debt or if you have to invest the money. All right, so in this video I'm going to be sharing with you my framework that I use, and I know so many other people that also use the same framework to actually answer this question, and then through that they come to a very visible conclusion. All right, so if you're thinking, so exactly what exactly does being in debt means, or what exactly does being investment means? Well, you can check this video about debt, and then you can check this video about investment on my channel. Okay, the first thing I would do in my framework is to look at what is the type of debt I'm talking about here. Is it a good debt or is it a bad debt? So what is a bad debt? A bad debt is a kind of debt that you incur on consumables, for example, maybe on clothing, on brands or things like this, and most times you incur this debt on your credit card. And because this debt comes with high interest rate, the cost and the interest ramps up quickly, and before you know it, within a few months down the line, something that you started with just $250, it's getting to $300 and so on and so forth, and it becomes uncontrollable, and that's what you call a bad debt. The other thing is the good debt is like debt that you incur based on investment purposes. For example, mortgages is considered to be an investment, or for example, school loan or student loan. Yeah, you get some money to go to school and pay for colleges or for your university education, or even your secondary degree. Or for example, you took out some money, you invested some money in buying a car to use that car to run a business, and you intend to gain some income from that car, and that is what you call a good debt. All right, so if you are able to categorize these two types of debts, bad or good, you should look at paying. This framework tells you to focus on paying off your bad debts first before you go into investment. And why is that? Because then it doesn't make sense for you to keep ramping up on your bad debt while investing. And that is why I would also suggest, and that is why you have to pay off your bad debts first and then look at investing later on. The second part of my framework is about interest rate. Why is this really important? It's important because the higher the interest rate of your debt, the earlier you want to make sure you pay off that debt, right? So if the interest rate on the debt you're looking at is higher than the interest rate you would get if you invest the money we are talking about, then it makes sense to actually pay off the debt before investing the money. So for example, let me just share a quick example with you. Imagine that you have $1,000 and you're trying to decide if you're going to use it to pay off a debt that you have, or you want to use it for an investment. And then you actually have a debt that this debt is also costs you $1,000, and the interest rate, per annum interest rate on this debt is 10%. Let's work with that value, which means at the end of 1 year, at the end of 12 months, you have to be able to pay off that $1,000 and also pay off the 10% interest rate on that money. Now, the other part is that you have an investment opportunity whereby you can invest $1,000 and at the end of the year you are able to get 6% on this investment, which means at the end of the year you're going to be getting like $1,060, right, on that $1,000 you invested. When you look at it in the whole of it, right, you will realize that the total or the sum of your debt after the end of 12 months is like $1,100. Meanwhile, your investment is just $1,060. Your investment that you've gotten with the interest rate will not be able in this case to cover your debt. So that makes it more sense for you to, in this case, just pay off that debt, and you know that, okay, yeah, you've paid it off and it's gone, like it's really gone. Because otherwise, if you keep that debt, that's you end up having $1,100 at the end of 12 months, and you have $1,060 at the end of 12 months for your investment. You are in the negative of like minus 40. Okay, so that's the way I would approach it in a very pragmatic and very practical way. The third part of my framework is the psychology of debt. So based on the finding I read recently, it says that people with debt are 3 times more likely to experience some kind of psychological disorder, that is mental distress, compared to people who don't have. What does that mean? This finding actually suggests that 41%, or let me say 42% of people with some kind of debt are more likely to experience some kind of mental disorder compared to people who are not, compared to 17.5% of people who are not in debt, which means that debt comes with a lot of stress and psychological distress. And you know what? Life is stressful enough. Imagine now adding the stress of owing someone, or being debt burdened or debt ridden to the stress of life. Because I don't like living a stressful life, I would rather forgo my debt and have a peaceful life. So what about you? Let me ask you a question. How do you go about making this decision when you have money with you? Do you focus just on investment, or do you look at, okay, your debt portfolio and see how you want to pay it off? I would be happy to hear your comments and know how you approach this topic. Thank you for being there until the end, and I hope that you're able to take a few things away from it today. Like I said, please don't hesitate to like my video, also subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification button, because then I get to send you a message once I upload the next video. And don't forget to answer these questions I post about how you approach this particular topic of today, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you and bye-bye.